Hunting for Answers is a production of the Black Effect Podcast Network and iHeartRadio. Welcome to Hunting for Answers, a true crime podcast. I'm your host, Hunter. In early January 2006, in Highland Falls, New York, a woman is preparing to start over. Court dates are approaching. A possible new home is taking shape, and a career path is beginning to come into focus. On the surface, it looks like a life moving forward. But then, the phone calls stop. No check-ins, no messages, no goodbye. Days pass, then weeks, and the silence does not break. This is the story of Petra Loretta Muhammad. Petra Muhammad was 30 years old, a mother, a student at Orange County Community College, working toward a career in diagnostic imaging. She also worked part-time as a cashier. She was building a life of her own. She was preparing to sign a lease, a space that would be her own, a shift toward something new. During this time, Petra's personal life was in transition. Petra and her husband, William Muhammad, were in the process of divorcing. Court hearings had been scheduled for January 2006, including divorce proceedings and family court matters. Court records show Petra had previously sought an order of protection. In those filings, she described alleged abuse and threats. The order restricted contact, and as those court dates drew closer, Petra was no longer heard from. In early January 2006, Petra was last seen in Highland Falls. In the days before she disappeared, she spent time with a friend. She went shopping at a mall, and she paid her cell phone bill. Ordinary moments, the kind that pass without notice. But then the calls stop. No one heard from her again. Days passed, then weeks. By February, a relative reported Petra missing. By then, the silence was noticeable. When authorities began looking into the case, one detail drew immediate attention. Petra's belongings were still there. Her identification, her driver's license, her passport, her clothing. There was no sign of packing. There was no activity linked to her name, no cell phone use, no social security activity, no evidence she had traveled. If she left, there was no sign that she was getting ready to go. Authorities spoke with her husband, William Muhammad. He said he did not know where she was. He told them she may have left the area, possibly to New York City, or back to Grenada, where she was born. But there was no evidence she had traveled, and nothing to suggest she had started over anywhere else. Police searched the home, the property, and vehicles connected to the case. They kept looking, and as they did, there were details that raised concern, but none of it provided clear answers. The court date set for January came and went. Petra did not appear. William Muhammad also did not appear. The case was dismissed, and Petra still had not been heard from. It was no longer about court filings. It was about her disappearance, with no clear explanation. Over time, investigators say they believe Petra is likely deceased, but her remains have never been found. No one has been charged in her disappearance. More than 2 decades later, it remains unsolved. Petra Muhammad was building a life, school, work, a place of her own, a future that was taking shape. And then she was gone. No call, no trace. Only the things she left behind and questions that have never been answered. Our thoughts are with Petra Muhammad's family and loved ones. As we close this episode, sharing her story helps keep attention on her disappearance and the questions that remain. If you have any information about this case, please contact the Highland Falls Police Department. Contact details are listed in the show notes. For more cases and updates, follow Hunting for Answers. You can also connect with us through our Facebook group and find us on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. If there's a story you believe deserves attention, we'd love to hear from you. Thank you for joining us for another episode. Until next time. Hunting for Answers is a production of the Black Effect Podcast Network. For more podcasts from the Black Effect Podcast Network, visit the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your favorite shows.